I'm Laura Kane. This is my co-host, Erik Rimmer.
Hi. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was your big moment.
Wow. I blew my big moment.
It was bad.
Hi.
What's your hat say? D squared. Okay. What's that?
It's a designer.
Oh, sorry,
Excuse
darling.
me.
Sorry, and your T-shirt, very appropriate for today of all nights.
Thank you.
The night you're going to talk about your dear sweet mother. What the heck were you thinking? She would be scolding you right now.
She's probably not happy.
No, she's not happy with you.
To be fair, Snow White did live with 7 men.
Yeah.
Well, still, come on.
Does this remind you of anything?
Yes, it does. One of our first 3 or 4 podcasts. He taught me some things on a banana. That's how it used to be.
He taught you how to do a Snow White on a banana?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't pretty.
You're
welcome. Luckily, it wasn't filmed.
Thank God.
It was not videoed or anything. We would have been, yeah.
What is that when you get in trouble with the
blackballed or?
Oh yeah. But what is it when you have to apologize in radio?
An FCC thing, a public apology?
Yeah, FCC.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time.
I would have been, gee whiz, all the time.
Well, we have a winner, everybody. Winner of the catchphrase, who's going to go out to dinner with the 3 of us. We'll pick a date.
Lucky person.
And we picked a good one and a good winner because it just so happens to be a friend of ours, Margaret Verissimo, with the catchphrase, unapologetically unfiltered. Laura Kane After Dark. Unapologetically unfiltered. That's a lot. That's a mouthful, but it says a lot, I think.
And she's totally unfiltered.
Margaret?
No, you.
Oh, I am. Oh, big time. Yeah. Unfortunately.
I'm very conservative.
You compared to me, you are.
I am.
I know. So there's that. And then we'll go out to dinner. It's going to be really fun. Thank you so much if you sent in.
Thank you, guys.
One of your catchphrase ideas. It really means a lot. And we loved so many of them. It was hard to pick. But you know what? Like you guys said, we can always use some of the other ones.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like, for sure 100% it's going to be in stone that it has to be that all the time.
And those ones that we use, it might not be a dinner. It might be just a sandwich and a soft drink.
Right. A sandwich and a soft drink for 15 minutes, a break.
A candy bar and a soda. Yeah.
Our meet and mingle is coming up January 26th. Should we tell a location or wait for that?
Let's wait.
Let's wait a minute.
Yeah.
But it's something that is easily accessible and has parking. So we're good there.
Yes.
And
McDonald's.
If you
And it's not your bedroom.
It's not my bedroom. It's not near my house. No. Easily accessible. Hey. Oh my God. You did not just say that. Wow. That was really bad.
Don't worry, the sheets are changed semi-frequently.
Really bad. Don't worry, I don't even sleep in the sheets. I sleep on top of my bed.
There's a lot more room now that I've cleaned it.
I know. Well, yeah. Don't even go there, Brian. You don't even want to know. I sleep on top of my bed. Yeah.
So I don't make
it.
Isn't that part of the reason that I
put a blanket down first, and then I sleep on the blanket under blankets.
Why do you even have anything on your bed?
I don't know. But that's how I'm most comfortable. Okay, with one of those big giant squishable thingies.
Oh my God,
that's my pillow.
They have them at Costco right now.
Oh, don't tell her that.
Oh my God, how much? How much? Did you check a price?
$15,000.
I was there with my girlfriend. She got distracted by them. I think the big ones are like $30 or.
Oh,
yeah, they're about 40.
That's
39 is what I've seen.
But they were at the most 32.
The big giant ones.
Yeah.
Were they all different kinds?
Yes, they were.
Oh my God! When did you go?
Brian.
Last week.
Brian.
But don't worry, I lit a match as I walked away. And
excellent.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
I don't have a Costco membership.
That's great.
Ooh, that's a shame.
I know. I'll have to go with you, Brian.
I don't go anymore.
What is that right there?
My bra strap. It's like a
My God.
I know. Welcome to being a woman. It's
wow.
really fun. It's a buckle of my bra strap.
That is a beast.
Can you imagine
Erik,
that
what
against
your bra straps like?
They're nothing like that.
I know. This is one of my big old bras.
Mine,
with a big old buckle.
Mine is like a training bra compared to yours.
I wasn't going to wear one, and then I thought, nope, that's not going to go over well. We're on
no.
camera. And
that was like slapping a piece
of
steel.
metal.
Yeah.
It is metal. Yeah.
Wow. That's ouch.
Industrial girder.
Yeah.
In order to go to the meet and mingle, you need to be a subscriber on Instagram. It's only $4.99 a month, And it's super easy to do.
Super easy.
Just go to our bio. You'll see it. And then there's a thing that says subscribe. Click it. And then we will have Meet Mingles for subscribers only. And also Instagram Live for subscribers only. So we hope you do that. Thank you. We also need to talk about our sponsor that we love so much, Jay Wurtzler from Capital Growth Inc. He's been in the money business for 35 years and growing.
And he knows his stuff.
He sure does. First and foremost, he's a very nice man. You will feel 100% comfortable with him discussing what's so vulnerable for so many people, money issues. Feel comfortable with him big time. He's the executive VP of Capital Growth Inc. He's been with the company that long, so you know they're totally legit.
For sure.
And he wants to help you, most importantly, through retirement. That's like his main thing. He wants people to be able to live their years, their non-working years, properly with enough money to be comfortable.
Right.
So whether that's diversify, I mean, like I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm saying this, whether it's like changing your 401k, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Jay knows everything. He does. He does.
What?
He does.
Happened?
I don't know what happened to you.
Wow.
So, he's also a certified financial planner and a certified divorce financial analyst. So he can help you through those kind of things too. If you're like splitting money and you need to know what to do with some money that you may be getting from a divorce or an inheritance. Some people don't know. Some people get a big bunch of money and they don't really know what to do with. Don't blow it.
Right.
Call Jay immediately.
Absolutely.
858-552-6960.
And the website is capitalgrowthinc.com.
And his email is jw@capitalgrowthinc.com. So
and it's JAYW. I always like to say that so people don't just put in JW.
Perfect. That's great. So we love him. Thank you for being our sponsor.
We love you, Jay.
On
Thank you.
Hurricane After Dark. So my host chat today is two things.
What?
Things that women are sick of being judged for and things that men are sick of being judged for.
Really?
Let's start with the women.
Damn it, Alyssa, a thing I have to stop judging people for.
Yep. You've got to. It was a Reddit thread.
Okay. Never mind. None of this means anything.
Stop it. Yes, it does.
It's Reddit.
These are people that are regular people like me and you, and they're sick of, being judged for these certain things.
No, 100%. But like, never mind.
Stop it. It's valid, okay?
Reddit is
It's valid.
else.
Okay. So for women getting older, everybody should allow to age in peace.
Of course,
instead of being
agree.
judged for
100%.
being an old whatever. Stop.
Are people judged for being old?
Yes. People are judged for being old. They
Sorry.
don't get.
I was so aggressive.
All right, you old fart, come down over there.
People like don't get hired because of ageism. People, things like that. So it's not fun. Not being married yet.
Oh yeah.
Some women in their 30s or maybe even 40s. Maybe they're like late 30s and they're not married yet. Don't judge them. They just haven't found the right person.
Well, you know what? And it's just like it makes me feel bad for women that aren't maternal. They just don't want kids.
Some women don't.
For whatever reason. It doesn't mean they're selfish. It doesn't mean that
I think it means they're less selfish. They don't want to bring a body into this world.
For sure. And some women just aren't maternal. They just don't want kids. They want to... Their career is important or their whatever.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be made to feel like it doesn't matter for the sake of the family. You need to have a kid.
Right.
Well, I think partly it is selfish, but I think it's okay to be selfish. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No.
So, I mean, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Being justifiably upset or angry about something. See, when we get angry about things, it's either like, you're on your period or, you must be hormonal.
See,
So
aren't you glad I've
Laura,
never
relax.
said that to you, my work wife?
you never have.
Never.
You're good like that.
Yep.
On the other hand, we frequently tell Eric it must be his time.
Oh,
for that.
I know we do.
that's
no,
just-
he brings it up.
I do.
He
Yes.
has his man period.
I do.
He is
all the time.
totally upfront about that.
Yeah.
Wearing comfortable clothing. It seems like guys can wear gym shorts and flip-flops to the opera. Nobody cares. But when a woman does it, everybody cares.
As long as you don't wear Birkenstocks,
That's
I'm good.
comfortable.
Nope.
Those are comfortable.
Ugly
I kind of
is what they are.
I'm starting to get the idea that Laura just wrote this list for herself.
Why I'm so passionate about this. Lifting weights or being competitive with
Oh,
sports.
come on. Are you kidding?
I actually disagree. I think women in weightlifting are actually pretty well respected.
Well, some of them, you're muscular. That's a man's sport, or if the real muscular ones, or you look manly.
Maybe like 10 years ago, but
aggressive.
especially nowadays, that's actually pretty like sought after.
Well, I think the reason that there's such a shift in that is because people don't look at a woman as being as having the physique of a man. And some of these women that bodybuild do get that
They
big,
do.
bulky with the veiny arms and
that's what they are training for. That's what they want.
yeah. And if they want it, then
How about this? Okay, I know. I totally could have written this whole dang list because the next one is being bad at cooking or other women chores.
you
That's
cooked
the-
beige.
that's
You
the
cooked
women's
meat dinner
stuff.
one night and it was very good.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, she made pasta and it was delicious.
I only had to boil the water. That's all I had to do.
Did you
It
salt
was-
the pasta water?
No, I did.
Oh,
I did. I
That's a
no,
no.
I didn't. No, they were ravioli, so I thought it'd be too much salt because the inside I felt like
It was very good.
I didn't.
I
Don't
ate-
judge me.
Laura
I ate
needs to
every bite,
practice
didn't I?
women's
Yes,
stuff.
you did.
And didn't I say it was delicious?
Yes, you did.
Who loves you more than me?
My mom, but that's about it.
See,
Yeah.
Mary and I.
Being a stay-at-home mom, some women are judged for that.
Oh
Really?
my God.
Yeah,
that's-
like a
that's
lot of
not
people
good.
think it's lazy. which
Oh
is,
my.
like the least amount lazy.
That is. I'd like to see a man do a woman's job.
I mean, I remember going to work and it was a break. It was good.
Every
fun.
single woman I know that has kids, when those kids go back to school on that first day, that is a day that they probably put their nipples to the wind and are
Oh my
like, this
gosh.
is glorious. 7 hours without these kids.
Right.
I don't even know what
I
to
mean,
do.
of course, we love our kids. I mean, that's without
Of course.
saying.
Don't sound like it.
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot. Kids are a lot. Little
Yeah.
kids, especially.
Yeah.
Anything and everything related to weight. Don't judge women. They face a lot more judgment than men do about weight issues.
100%.
Thank you.
You know what is so awful, and I hear this all the time, and it makes me so mad. I have to do everything I can not to
What?
get pissed off. So when somebody says she has a really pretty face, but
If she only lost,
yeah,
30 pounds,
Yeah.
she'd be beautiful. She'd be smoking. Yeah, I've heard that before. And
some
that's-
people can't.
right.
When somebody says I'm just big boned, sometimes that's the truth. And there's so much body shaming that goes on anyway. I mean, you see these people that are bordering on anorexic, and they're like, oh, she needs to. But come on,
I know.
give me a break.
And finally, not smiling enough. Guys are never told to smile more, but I've been told, why aren't you smiling? Smile more. I've been told that a couple times when I just walking down the street.
Oh yeah, I have resting bitch face, pretty much 24/7.
You should smile more.
Yeah, you should.
I
You
had
didn't
a guy.
even smile in our pictures.
I
half
had
of them.
no. I had a guy bang on the hood of my car one time crossing a crosswalk, and he's all smile.
What?
I was sitting. May God strike me. I was sitting in my car at a red light,
You must have looked like so mad.
wrapped on the hood of my car, and was like, smile.
I would say that's crazy, but having seen Eric's resting bitch face, I kind of get that. I understand that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I look perpetually unhappy,
You really do.
even when I'm not.
You look mad a lot of
I
times.
do.
Even when you're not.
I know.
Okay, men, it's time for the men.
Great.
This is what you guys are sick of being judged for.
Oh, you're gonna tell me what I'm sick of? being
Yes,
judged for?
I'm going to tell you. You're damn right I am. Having non-manly hobbies like baking or gardening. Don't judge them.
I don't feel like I get judged for that.
I will stab somebody with my pruning shears.
Do you have any unmanly hobbies?
Yes.
Like?
I give myself facials.
Oh,
I
yes.
paint.
He has so many facial products.
Yeah. I take bubble baths.
Does anybody ever give you grief for
I
those
cook.
things?
God.
Or does anybody
No.
judge you?
No,
about
because I
to.
stab them with my knitting needle.
To do with the whole bubble bath thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
I love chick flicks. I love rom-coms.
Oh, you do. Oh, and you love that girly music of yours.
I love my songstresses.
Oh. Being short. That's tough for a guy because you can't do
is tough.
anything
Oh, you can't
about
help
it. But people get
God.
judged. Men get judged for that.
That will never end. That's a biological
It
thing.
sucks. That sucks.
It does.
Just like if you have a receding hairline, that's also kind of unfortunate. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, you can do something about that, though.
Being short, no.
Pampering yourself with things like massages.
Oh, yes.
You do
Oh,
that
my God.
too.
Uh-huh.
Taking long, relaxing showers.
Bubble
What?
baths.
Men don't get judged for that. Men all do that.
I don't know. I didn't make up this list, I swear.
You made up the other one, though.
And ordering a cocktail or a girly drink instead of a beer.
Oh, I don't drink beer.
I don't drink.
cocktails.
What's your cocktail of choice?
I'm a big fan of old fashions.
What's that exactly?
It's just bourbon
Oh.
mixed with a little bit of sugar and stuff. I love Long Island's. Those are great. Irish trash can's a lot of fun.
What's that?
A what?
That's when you take, the blue Hawaiian is.
No.
Yes.
Okay, it's when you make it. I think it's a blue Hawaiian, but you make it with you put a Red Bull can upside down in the middle of the drink and put extra vodka.
Oh God.
Oh,
just
see, I
sounds-
would have totally been into that.
That sounds
big time.
awful.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Oh,
That
man.
just sounds disgusting.
Wow. The alcoholic in me is crawling up my back right now.
Wow.
Like, wow, that sounds so good. Get it off. Get it off.
Yeah.
No, that'll never happen. Okay. So that's my host chat for this Thursday, December 1st. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. If I hear a Christmas song, I can't believe how fast Christmas stuff went up this year. All right, so I'm going to tell you 2 places that I ate
Okay.
within the last couple weeks. I just forgot to talk about them. First was it's in Cortez Hill, and it's called Cali Breakfast, and it's so cute.
It's a breakfast place only?
It's at the base of the El Cortez Hotel, and
Okay.
it used to be an Italian restaurant, and it is now a. They do breakfast.
Is it packed in there?
Yeah, and the food is very, very good. And see Angela, she's
manager?
great. No, she's
a-
one of the servers, and
Okay.
she's a delight. And the
You
food
love
was,
making friends with the servers.
I
don't
do.
you?
The food was great. She's got a great smile. She's got a great personality. Hi, Angela. That's Cali Breakfast, and it's right up there on Cortez Hill at the base of the El Cortez Hotel. The other place was the Tavern, and that is in Coronado. And say hi to Lucas and Brooke. The food. So it's it's the block before on the same side as the Hotel Del. So there's a Chipotle on one end, and then the Tavern's.
Oh, yeah.
on
Okay,
the
I
other.
know where it is.
But
then.
it's kind of a basement tavern, so the windows are at the sidewalk level. But you go down in, and they've got it's all wood and chandeliers and everything. And I thought, it's going to be bar food.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beyond bar food. It is so good. You know how I am with my chicken pot pies.
Do they have a good one? Oh my God, that sounds so good right now.
Oh, you're a chicken pot pie lover?
Oh yes.
What's
sir.
wrong with you?
Chicken pot pies are not good.
What?
You haven't had a good one then.
You're right. I haven't had a good one.
No.
Because I don't think a good one
I don't
Brian.
think
is.
you've had a good one.
Brian,
agree.
Just wait.
we're going to the
Yes,
tavern.
we'll go to the tavern. Maybe we
We're
should go
gonna
there
s-
for our dinner with Margaret.
Ooh.
What? So I can have disgusting chicken pot pies?
That's right.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
force feed you.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Let me clarify. They're not the worst thing I've ever had. They're just not that good.
Oh, this was delicious.
You're gonna
It
get a
was-
bite for sure.
You are, for sure. I'm going to hold you down, and Laura's going to spoon feed it to you.
Fine, 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 fine.
It was great. And then another restaurant is called NATO Republic.
Where's
and
that?
that is also in Coronado.
Oh, someone took a little trip to Coronado. Wait, was this 2 separate trips to Coronado or the
This is the
trip?
Same day.
It was the
I know.
It actually, I think, was.
Did you just do a bunch of walking around
Yeah.
and get hungry again?
Yep. It was delicious.
That is
cute.
very on brand.
Yes, for me.
Very on brand. I love
know.
it.
So thanks, Lucas and Brooke. They were delightful.
So we're going to take this day, December 1st, is very important to Erik. And for me, having lost a parent, the day they die is a monumental day. It makes you think about them, of course, their good days and the bad days, and how much they meant to you. And so, Erik, this is your 4th year
Yes.
of your mom's passing. So we thought we would dedicate this show to his mom.
Yes.
And great wearing the shirt. Thank you for that.
Sorry, Mom.
And
I kind of didn't
wow,
think this through.
you didn't. And then she'd be scolding you right now.
Oh,
Erik,
for
think.
sure.
Use your brain.
You've shamed the family name.
So, Erik, you take the floor and talk about your sweet mom.
Thank you. So you, I think a lot of people knew my mom through, I did a blog about her, and I got the idea from calling in to the Jeff and Jer show. You guys had I don't know what it was, but it was some sort of a thing, like you had people call in over something hilarious that their parents did or something. And I called in with a story about my mom and a cell phone. And Tommy called me back and said, do you have more stories about your mom? And I said, well, sure. So I would call in every once in a while. But then I thought, well, I'm going to keep a blog. I was very, very close to my mom, extremely close ever since I was a kid. And so we would go out to dinners, and as I got older, I was the son that she would take shopping for outfits, and we would go to concerts and travel together and go out to dinner. And we would be one of those mothers and sons that would be at a restaurant, and she had two that she would go to. She didn't vary her palate.
What would she like?
She liked Tio Leo's and she liked Islands.
Okay.
So I could very rarely get her to go anywhere else. So we would be at Islands and they'd say, we're closed. And it would be 11 o'clock. And we would still be just carrying on and laughing and having a great time. And then I'd say, sometimes it would be 10 and I'd say, oh God, I still got to go to Target. And she'd say, let's go. So, and she was game for anything. And we played jokes on her, and she was game for anything. And the stuff, once she hit a certain age, the stuff that came out of her mouth which is why I wrote everything down, is because it was worth writing down.
Can you remember some of that?
Sure. So one time we went to dinner with my friend Kathleen, and everybody wanted in on, after I started posting stuff on social media about the things she'd say, people would say, well, where are you going to dinner? Like, we'll just show up. And there were times where we would be out to dinner and people would just walk in and just sit down and or just stop by the table just to see if she would say something. And she was always on her best, But when we went out to dinner with Kathleen, we went to Tio Leo's, and Kathleen met us there. And then as soon as we got in the car, my mom said, oh my God, your friend Kathleen. And I thought, she's a delight. You better watch what you say about her. And she said, I think I farted in her face as we were getting out of the booth. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, she'll probably never want to see me again. And I mean, the stuff that would just come out of her mouth, and it was hilarious. So in 2005 or 2009, she was having some health problems, and I took her to the doctor, and it turned out that she had Parkinson's. So one of the things with Parkinson's that I found out was, as it hits you older, it's not as invasive as when it hits you when you're younger, like Michael J. Fox.
Right. The shaking.
Yes.
Did she ever get the shaking?
She did. So she would get the tremors, and it was only on one hand. And it was pretty light, but we would monitor the medication and everything. And in 2016, I think it was 2016, she started acting really strange. And she would get extremely anxious around 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon. And I didn't know what was going on. And I was taking her to doctor's appointments, and she would schedule them, and I would have it in my calendar and everything. And all of a sudden she'd call and say, when are you coming to get me? And I said, for what? And she'd say, the doctor's appointment. And she would have made a doctor's appointment. I didn't even know about it. So all this stuff started to kind of come into play, and I started getting really, really nervous. And I thought something's going on. So I had to go to LA for work, and I was going to be gone 6 days. And I said, Mom, she suddenly didn't want to use the oven anymore. And she refused to have a microwave. And one of the best stories about her is my dad bought her a cell phone. This is when my dad was sick. And she never used it. She kept it in the trunk of the car in the box it came in.
Because of the radiation?
Yeah,
she was afraid of that?
She didn't want to get brain cancer. So she didn't have a microwave, and she never used a cell phone. So then she started not wanting to use the oven, and I said, why? And I noticed that her left hand started to get kind of gnarled like a tree branch. It was getting really like claw-like, and it was starting to retract into her body. Like she was holding it very close to like her breast. And I thought, oh, God, I don't know if she had a stroke. So we would take her in. They'd say, nope, nothing. MRIs, CAT scans, nothing. So I went on this trip, and I came back, and she hadn't eaten anything that I said, Mom, I've pre-made all your meals for you. Just put them in the toaster oven, and it's all good. Not one thing. I said she was extremely dehydrated. And I said, Mom, what did you eat? And she's like, well, I just ate chips. And I said, Mom. And so I got my other sibling involved. And I said, look, I asked Mom to live with me. And I think it's time that we don't need to sell the house, but I think that it's time that she probably thinks about living with one of us. And I asked her to live with me, and she doesn't want to. And so I said, I'm going to start looking for one of those, not an assisted living, but where they have their own little apartment.
Like a retirement home,
yes,
kind of, but a little bit of assistance.
Right. And then things started to really get hairy. And my mom called me one night and said, you need to come over right now. Your sibling is here, and they're packing a bag for me, and they're telling me I'm going to live with them. And I said, all right, Mom, I'm on my way. And she was crying, and she's like, I don't want to do this. And I said, Mom, just give it a couple weeks. And if you don't like it, I will come and get you and bring you home. And if you have to come and stay with me, then you'll have to come and stay with me. It's getting a little dangerous. So she did, and I went and looked for places, and I am telling you that it broke my heart, because the stuff that is out there that some of these people are living in, I wouldn't have my worst enemy live in. Like people just laying in the halls.
It's expensive,
it's
too.
So expensive. Some of these are low rent places, and they're $7,000 a month. And I don't know how, and I was panicking, and I was like, we're going to have to sell the house. We're going to have to sell everything. And my mom's like, no, I have long-term care. So if you have the opportunity to get long-term care, if it's through your company, if it's through your insurance, get it, because you will be saved in the long run. So I found a place called Cloisters in Mission Valley, and it was absolutely lovely. It was, the staff cared about the residents. They were all so nice. And so we took my mom to look at it, and she liked it. She felt really at home there. And we took her in right after Thanksgiving because she had fallen. And I said that was my only concern was, my sibling works and his partner works, and, they had kids and everything. And so I was like, I just wanted her to get the best care she could. She wound up falling. And then, of course, it was like, well, we can't care for her. So we got her in, and within about 2 weeks, she was in the hospital. And I got a call to go there, and we were told that she had brain cancer.
Of all the things.
And they had totally ruled it out.
All the measures.
Totally ruled it out. And they said, Yep, she's got.
Is that what was causing that erratic behavior?
And the drooping of the
And
eyelid
and the
her
arm?
vision. Yep, she was having vision problems, memory problems, and that's why I thought she had had a stroke. And so when they, like I said, when they did the MRI and the CAT scan and everything, nothing was coming up. So they said it's about the size of a tangerine, and we're confident that the surgeon, who's, I'll never forget his name, it was Vikram Udani, he performed the surgery on my mom. He and his team did. And when we were kind of weighing out the options, he said it's contained so I can get it. But we have to act quickly because this thing is getting bigger and bigger as the days go by. So my mom was 80, and we asked him, what could be the outcome? And he said, well, because of her age and how frail she is, she has an 85% chance of not making it. And I thought, well, what's the silver lining to this? And he said, well, she could come out of it, and then with therapy and stuff. And I said, well, what is her expectancy for life after that? And he said, 11 months.
After the surgery?
Because he said it's going to come back. It's just a matter of time. Because when it's soft tissue, they can only get it's called dusting the floor of the brain. So the cells, because it's soft tissue, can nestle into that tissue and just replicate. So he said, while we can get the tumor, we'll do our best. And with radiation and chemo, she couldn't do both because of her age. So the chemo would have killed her. So she had to take a chemo pill and do radiation. So it was touch and go. But after she had the surgery, she came out of it like a rock star. Like she just blew it out of the water. So about 4 months in, we got the news that it was back. And so during this time, there was just a lot of family dynamics. And I've said this before, when people get sick, either families get together and they rally and whether there's differences or whatever, they unite and become one. And unfortunately, in my situation, it didn't happen that way. It fractured, and it got to the point where it was so bad that we couldn't even be in the same room together. And because I didn't want my mom to know, I had to put on a front that everything was fine.
And she knew
until she found out.
Oh, yeah.
And right after the surgery, she was as sharp as a tack. The day of the surgery, when we went in, she remembered my name, my birth date, how old I was. And that's the first thing she said. So she started to get quickly back to being with it. And she was drilling me left and right about what was going on. And I was like, nothing, and she goes, I know you're lying. And I go, no, I don't know what you're talking, So it was that whole thing. And so it eventually came to a head, and I had to tell her. And because she was getting really upset, and I said, nothing is worth this. Her recovery is paramount. So she's like, look, you're the oldest, just for the sake of the kids and stuff, just make it better. I know that you didn't cause this, but just make it better. And no matter how hard I tried, it just got worse and worse and worse. And so she passed in the morning on December 1st. And
were you there?
I was there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And my sibling left. And so I stayed until the mortuary picked her up. And then I asked, while we were still all in the room together, I said, and there was just so many things that had happened. But I always, how that when they go low, we go high. That's just what I did. I just, for my own sanity and for my mom not to be inconvenienced, I just didn't let anything that was going on. I think I vented to you.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. We heard all about it all.
Yeah. And
It was
so
a lot. You were going through a lot.
it was one thing after another, and just waiting for just the tension of waiting for the other shoe to drop was, I wasn't able to grieve properly. And so I was getting really aggressive and really angry and really like, I didn't care if I hurt people. I really didn't. I was just, had I had an addictive personality,
You'd be
who
drinking
knows?
and
Oh,
using.
who knows what would have happened? And so we had said to the staff, well, what do we do with her little apartment now? And they said, well, just take your time. And I said, even with everything that's going on, I talked to my sibling and the partner, and I said, I think that it would be really good that we clear out this together. And I think it'll be cathartic, and I think it'll really help. And so I said, let's figure out a time, and we'll do that. And, it was like, well, we'll check and, see. And the next morning I got a call, and at 6:00 in the morning, and it said, we've cleaned out everything. So let us know if there's anything you want. Otherwise, we're going to trash it. And that sent me into a spiral so bad that I didn't think I was ever going to get out of it. And so then we had to deal with the funeral, and that was a disaster, and the selling of my mom's house and everything. And why
was the funeral a disaster? It was a nice funeral. I remember
it was, but it was so tense. I remember just wishing I could dig another hole and jump into it. I mean, I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Oh God.
And I remember I wasn't eating. I was so thin, and I was just so stressed out. And afterwards, it just got worse and worse and worse. And I still hadn't grieved. And for the first time ever in my life, I remember I was in my bathroom, and I had quit my job. I couldn't take the pressure of my job anymore. And I was like, I'm so miserable. I got to get out. And I got a new job right away. And I remember I'd moved. So I had the death of my mom. I quit my job. I moved, all literally within months of each other. And I was in the bathroom of my new place, and I just got so overwhelmed, and I dropped to my knees, and I was like, I need to be out of here. I just want to be with my parents. And that freaked me out so bad, because I've never in my life had a thought like that. And the pressure was just too much. And I had lost now everyone. So I have a brother and sister that live outside of the country. But they have their own lives. I wasn't going to burden them with what was going on. So in the blink of an eye, I was somebody's everything. And then in 1 second, I was nothing. And I had no one to fall back on except for my chosen family. And there's only so long that they want to hear about stuff like that, So I thought, well, I'm just going to have to do this myself. And it was one of those things where I talked about it on our show shortly after, I think maybe a year after it happened or something. I think I waited about a year. And I was shocked at how many people reached out and said, I went through the same thing. And so there's a point where you just have to let the anger go.
How did you do that?
I just really had to change my life around. And it was about a year ago. I almost relished in letting people have it.
Yeah.
Because I was so, some of the stuff that was said to me should never be said to anybody.
by the family member.
By somebody that I was so close to and that I mean,
Yeah.
a sibling.
Yeah.
And I don't care what is going on in your life, but you don't take certain things away from someone. Especially, I know that if I had done that, there would be literally no forgiveness. And so I just had to look at the entire picture, and there were certain things that were told to me after the fact that made it a little more clear as to maybe why there was such an acting out towards me. But we had a psychic on the show, and that was my biggest thing with my mom. Was I had tried so hard to make things right, and I just couldn't do it. And that was the only thing that she really...
Her dying wish.
Yeah. And I just couldn't do it. And I really beat myself up about that. I really couldn't let that go. And so whatever your thoughts are about psychics or whatever, it made me feel better, considering that she didn't know me.
Say what she said again.
She told me that my mom was at peace with what happened. She said that she knew that I tried. And
this is not knowing anything.
She didn't know anything.
Any of this backstory.
Anything. She didn't know whether my parents were alive or dead.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. But my mom came right through to her and said, you tried, and that's all I could ask for, and I'm at peace with it. So that was really, for me, very, very much of a closing on that. But a very dear friend brought it to my attention about a year ago and said, we were having coffee, and I was, regaling in some story where I popped off and went after somebody. And he said, that's not the person I know. Mm-hmm. And it's not super attractive. Mm. And I thought, oh my God,
So that's the point where you changed it around?
Yeah, where I just had to, because I thought I can't be this old and this angry.
So instead of the anger, you just decided to accept what is,
right,
and be, instead of angry, positive, and look through that lens.
I did, because I thought my parents wouldn't want it. Mm-mm. And when you're pushed to the front of the line like that, it really gives you a different outlook. So like, you're so blessed to still have your mom and everything. And I'm telling you, when my mom passed and all this stuff was going on, I thought, my God, I've got 1 foot in a grave and 1 foot on a banana peel, and it's going to be here faster than I know. And I can't be living my life like this. I can't be sitting here stressed out all the time, getting migraines, not eating, being angry and not living my life. I mean, there was so many things that I wanted to do, travel, have experiences, and I just wasn't able to do it. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I can't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, I have to, for once in my life, live my life for me and stop worrying about what other people think and what other people are expecting from me and what I think I should be doing for other people. So what's your message to somebody who might be going through this or has gone through this? If you're going through it, you take the love and acceptance that your friends give you. If you're having family issues, I can't stress it enough. Like you, Marla, my chosen family had I not had you guys, I don't even know if I would be here talking about it, because it was very tough. So, the death of a parent is something you just you never expect it. No, you don't quite recover from that. Mm-mm. And it could be, I was very lucky to have her into her 80s, where some people lose their, like you did. 60, my dad was 60, lose their parents so young or tragically. Yeah. And that was the one thing for me is I was very blessed in that even growing up, I was very concerned about, and my mom thought, my mom would tell me all the time, you are weird, because I would obsess about who was going to take care of them if they got sick. And she goes, well, it's going to be you. But I was oddly preoccupied about stuff like that. And the one thing that I obsessed over was I don't ever want to be, which is one of the reasons that I think I probably would have moved out of San Diego a long time. Had it not been for my friends, I never wanted to leave my parents because I was born and raised here. And I thought, what if something happens to them and I'm not here? And so I think that's probably one of the Achilles heels of just having a big soft heart is I didn't do a lot for myself.
No.
Because I was so concerned about
Other people.
them. And so I have no regrets in that aspect because I was with both my parents when they passed. So
Wow, that is unusual.
Yeah.
They both died from cancer.
No, my dad died from emphysema
Oh,
and then
that's
my mom
right.
died from brain cancer.
And when your mom passed, did you see her take her last breath and all that? Was that, what was that like?
It was odd because she technically, according to the hospice people, would have passed on November 30th. So I was there with her, and the woman that was there went to check on her, and I was sitting there and talking to her, and she said, oh, she's gone. Just like that. And I said, oh, what? And, she had been kind of moving but very, she was being kept very comfortable.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, well, the other gentleman's going to come in. He just got here. I'm going to let him know that, she just passed and I'll be right back in. And I thought, well, that was the most lackluster, that was it.
She didn't reach for God or
Nope.
She didn't cry a tear or
No, but on the 28th, she had said to me, I was there and I was at this point staying all night. And they were like, no, you need to go home. And I'm like, nope, not. Sorry. So I was sleeping in a recliner next to the bed or not sleeping and just watching her like a hawk. And the guy came in and he said, okay, I'm going to just take her pulse one last time, just to make sure. And he goes, oh, nope, she's still with us. And I said, what? And he goes, oh, yeah, this happens more than you'd think. And I said, well, how long could this possibly go on for? And he goes, oh, for some people, it's gone on for like a month. And I thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to take
where
this.
they're in and out.
Where they just come and then
get revived. How
come.
Weird.
And so I said to her, I went over to the bed and I said, Mom, it's okay. Like, you don't have to hang on. Like, you can go. I'm right here. Go. And her eyes flipped open and she went, no.
Whoa.
And I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And so I sat back down and I got up and they were lovely at Cloisters and I went and got something to eat and I came back and just sat there and the guy and I were just talking and it got to be the morning and my sibling and his partner came and then he said, okay, I'm just gonna, well, looks like, she's modeling and stuff like that where their skin changes color. And he said, oh, yep, she's gone. And that was it.
Wow.
And it was,
gosh.
Yeah, it was very, so when I was sitting there with her, it was just really odd because, everybody came in and they said a prayer because it's a Catholic.
Cloisters is?
Yes. And so everybody was very reverent and very lovely. And I still talk to all of the people that were her nurses and everything.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Carolyn, who was her little friend there. We keep in contact, but yeah, it was definitely, I'll never forget where I was and all that.
Of course not.
But it's a part of your life that, I mean, there's things that I'll hear or see or like a song, and I've never been an emotional person. And when that happened, even after my dad died, I wasn't super emotional. I was very like, get it done and get everything done. But with my mom, it was a completely different thing.
Have you seen signs?
Yes. So people told me different things, like not to, like with my dad, after he passed, we were talking about that, where I would get the phone call and it would be all static. And with my mom, she took a little while. She loved dragonflies, and she loved the color pink and like lavender. And I hadn't seen a dragonfly in...
You don't see those very often.
No. And you used to see them here once in a while, but it was like seeing a frog. Like I haven't seen a frog in 100 years.
Right.
I hadn't seen a dragonfly in forever. And I went to the house one day and we hadn't sold it. So I would go over, and even though there were still gardeners that took care of it, I would go over and water it and just kind of be at the house. And I was watering some bushes out in front, and a huge purple dragonfly flew out of the bush and flew around my head, like hovered in front of my face for a minute, flew around my head, and then just took off.
Oh,
and so 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 now I'm traveling a lot more, and I will see a dragonfly almost everywhere I go.
Wow,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You should get a tattoo of a dragonfly.
I'm too afraid to get a tattoo.
Oh my God, that would be so cute.
I do. One of my friends who's an artist painted me one though.
Oh,
after she died, and sent it to me. So I have it in my home. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I think that she would be, well, with the exception of the t-shirt I'm wearing tonight, I think she would be, I go and visit her grave. So I'm going to go out on Thursday and visit it.
Yeah.
But it's always very hard to leave because she wasn't cremated. She was buried. And so was my dad. And so I always get very emotional when I leave because I feel like I'm leaving them.
Right. But you're not.
No.
They're always with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be so hard.
It is. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And they're both buried together, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And do you have like little knickknacks and stuff around? Do you bring them for flowers? Do you do that kind of thing?
I do that once in a while. I don't like to junk it up because
do you lay down on the grass?
I sit next to it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll bring like a little blanket and sit there and just.
Do you talk to her when you're there? You talk to your dad too?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I always tell
out loud or in your head?
When there's no one around, I will talk out loud.
Oh.
Yeah.
It must be hard not having parents.
It was. With my dad, he was sick for so long that it was almost a relief because he was so sick. And when you have emphysema, the doctor described it to me as, because to listen to him breathe was almost like nails on a chalkboard, because it sounded, every breath he took sounded like it was his last one. And the doctor said, I said, can't you do anything for him? And he said, it's like he's breathing through one of those little red straws that you see people stirring their coffee with. He said, that's the amount of air that he's getting in. But he was a 4-pack-a-day smoker. Ooh. So he was an architect. And so that's all he did was smoke and draw. But with my mom, it was such a shock. Mm-hmm. And you didn't really have, it happened so fast that you didn't even really, and then with all the drama that was going on, to even be able to grieve properly was so difficult. Do you feel like
you've grieved properly?
I do, and I still do, because there's things like, I think she would have loved the show that we do, and I think she would have loved to go places. Like she loved my songstress, Carrie Underwood.
She did?
Yes. So she would go to concerts with me to see
What?
her. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We would I took her to see Frank Sinatra.
Dang.
Yeah. We traveled together. We had so much fun. And so that's how it's like with you and Mary. You know, it's like it was never, ever, ever a burden for me to hang out with her.
Right.
Ever. Like every chance I got, I did
Yeah.
it because it was just so much fun.
It makes me appreciate my mom so much when you tell your story. It just makes me want to like get in the car right now
Yeah.
and drive up there.
And that's my biggest thing is if you've got parents and you don't talk to them a lot, or you never ever know when that is going to happen.
No.
And it could take a while. It could happen really quick. And the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, mom's calling. I'll call her later.
Oh gosh.
And so, and I was guilty of doing that. You know, I had projects that and I talked to my mom every day, but I was never a mama's boy, but I loved talking to her. She was a blast. And people that have known me for a long time, they can testify to that. She was so much fun. And so, but it can be taken away so quickly. So, you know, if you're fighting with a parent over something stupid and petty, just let it go. You know, years ago, I worked with a guy who said, it was Christmas time and we were talking about what we were going to do for Christmas. And I was very lucky that most of my family was here in San Diego. And so I said, oh, you know, I'm going to go over to my parents and stuff. And I said, are you going over to your families? He said, oh no, I don't talk to anybody in my family anymore. And I haven't in years. And I was like,
That's sad.
and I said, not even your parents? He said, nope. And I said, do you ever wonder like about them? And he said, no.
Wow.
And I thought,
That's unusual.
it was just one of those things where I thought, I don't think I could ever imagine.
Well, you're very lucky for the mom you got.
Yeah.
You got a good one.
I got a really good
Yeah.
one. You and I both
We
got
did. We lucked out in the mom department.
We really got
Two really great women.
Yeah. Very
You're so
strong.
white.
And
Very
my mom was
strong.
a cop.
That's so cool.
You know? So,
Yeah.
and she had to take kids out of their homes like that were being abused.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So she had a rough job.
Wow.
But she was, you know, so loving and doting, but you didn't mess with her. Like you didn't back talk. You didn't do, like she raised us right. Like we were taught to do chores and clean up.
Did you get a spanking on the butt?
I only got a spanking once, and that's because I did something I wasn't supposed to do. I went way out of the boundaries. It was, remember Adam Walsh, the little boy that was abducted and murdered?
Yes.
And the dad did that show, America's Most Wanted.
Yes.
So it was right about that time, right after he had been found, and all the news networks were saying, keep your kids close to home. Don't let them out of your sight. And I decided to go blocks and blocks and blocks away right before dusk.
Oh,
and I was on my bike, and my mom thought for sure I had been abducted. And
oh my gosh,
she
poor
hopped
thing.
in the car and went looking for me. And when she found me, she was like, you just wait till we get home. Wait till your dad finds out. And she gave me the slanted eye, and I did it back.
You slanted eyed back at her?
Yep.
And that's when you got the spanking?
That's my one and only spanking.
Wow.
And I would.
You deserved that one.
I did. And I didn't particularly enjoy it. It was years before I would enjoy a spanking again. Yeah.
Well,
so it was.
Thank you for telling your story about your mom and
Of
reminding
course.
people how important family is.
Yeah.
And just to call, if you have your mom still, call her, tell her you love her.
For
And,
sure.
You know,
And pick up the phone and just call or text. Like, I never allowed my mom to text because God only knows what would happen. But, you know, it's never too late because, man, once they're gone, you don't get any do-overs. There's not a rewind button
no.
that you can hit. So just suck it up. And
Yeah. Do it. Do the
it.
thing.
Yeah.
So thank you to our sponsor, Jay Wertzler from Capital Growth
Thank you,
Inc.
Jay.
And remember that we are the unapologetically unfiltered Laura Kane After Dark podcast.
Mainly her.
No, you too. You too. You're unapologetic. How about that?
And you're unfiltered.
That's right.
Perfect.
There we go.
There we go.
With that, thank you, Erik, and love your podcast.
Should we get t-shirts made?
Yes.
Unapologetic and unfiltered?
I love that.
Me too.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do it.
I love that.
I
I'll
love
get them
you.
done. I love you too. Very much.
Happy December.
Happy December 1st. Here we go. Here we go.
We've got some big things coming up.
I know
though.
we do. We do. We have a meet and mingle in January.
We have a party to go to.
Oh yeah,
in a
we
few
have
weeks.
Jody's party. Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
It's gonna be a blast.
So we're just waiting for you.
Are you and I gonna sing a duet?
Do you want to?
Endless Love.
I'll do that.
Will you?
Yes.
Okay.
Will you?
I don't
You
know.
will
I haven't-
not.
I
You
haven't
don't do that.
decided.
Come
I
on, in
don't.
front of a big group of
Oh
people.
hell no.
Oh my god.
Nope. You're on your own. You could do both voices.
Oh my god.
Love your podcast.
I love you, my sweet, sweet babies. Bye.
Bye.